wait a minute, Punk. When I signed you, it was a big deal.
Mm-hmm.
But obviously, bro, injury, your age was an issue. You got hurt. But in the meantime, I've got shiny new toys.
So, hey, guess what? Listen, this is the Riding with Russo show with the star of the show, this guy right here. This guy who has a complex because he flexes so much. he does not. I actually love it. I actually love when he flexes.
Yeah, I just do it because I know it pisses people off.
Yes.
And that's why I wear cutoff sleeves. Because I know people get so pissed.
People really get mad. People really get mad at you.
Oh
flex?
yeah,
really?
Yeah. Oh, who do you think you're all? You're so full of yourself.
What? People say that.
Oh yeah, bro. Yeah, yeah. That's why I do it. I think it's hysterical.
Remember when Regal used to flex, and he used to flex fake.
Yeah.
And so he would hold his arm up and push his arm. He would push the muscle up.
Tremendous.
I would pop every single time Regal would flex, man. It was absolutely hilarious. I think, you know what, man, flexing was a gimmick between you and I simply because of the bouncies. That's where the flexing between
us
started.
Out of
respect, it was the bouncies. Now people who are catching on and just thinking we're being narcissistic.
Yeah. Tremendous, bro. Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah, me with this. Me with my 61-year-old this, bro. Yeah, okay. I got it. Yeah.
I love it, man. It's great. So listen, man, there's some big topics going on. One of them is there was a big return on this previous Dynamite episode of Jon Moxley went against Chris Jericho. It was Quake at the Lake, I believe, in Minnesota, and they had a very bloody brawl. And then the Jericho Appreciation Society and the Blackpool Combat Club and Ortiz came out. Santana's been missing in action, and there's been some rumors about Santana as far as his relationship with Ortiz and stuff like that. I'm not sure how much of that is true, but at the same time, we see it, we haven't seen Santana, so it's really interesting. But so it was everybody, JAS and Blackpool Combat Club and Ortiz was out there, and then all of a sudden, who makes the save? Returning CM Punk. He clears house. All of a sudden, he has a stare down with Jon Moxley. There you go. That's going to set up the actual champion with the interim champion. Vince, you work with the infant CM Punk, right? He was with the Gathering, right?
Was for a cup of coffee, bro.
Yeah. Cup of coffee. Yeah. All people don't like when I make impersonations either, by the way. So, cup of coffee, yeah. So look, here's the thing. CM Punk, I've got my thoughts on CM Punk, which I'll share, but I'm interested in your thoughts on CM Punk. And do you think CM Punk versus Jon Moxley creates the alternative brand that AEW is trying to convey, or do you think it's just another WWE light version of their main events?
Chris, I gotta tell you, man, I swear, I know everybody listening to this show, I know I sound like a broken record, and I apologize for that. Here's what it comes down to, Chris. They have to make it important. It just can't be another segment on the show. Bro, when you have a wrestling show, I don't care if it's AEW, WWE, TNA, NWA, I don't care who it is. There has to be a main story or a main angle that is the draw. This is what you're tuning everybody in to see. And your entire show needs to revolve around that story. And I never see that, bro. For years now, I've been seeing the main story or the main event, one segment on a show, just like every other segment. If you go back, bro, the main story used to consist of a beginning, a middle, and an end, and it was threaded throughout.
Yep.
So that's what I'm getting at, Chris. It's like, can it be important if they make it important? Yes, absolutely, 1000%. If I was at AEW right now, I would make that important. That when we sit down creatively, that's the first thing we're doing. Okay, bro, what are we doing with Punk and Moxley this week? We're building that in the show. Then we're putting the other pieces in. Yeah. But when you present it, bro, as just another segment of the show, guess what, bro? It's just another segment of the show. It needs to be built, Chris, and it can be built. But again, to be the broken record, you have to understand writing in order to tell a good story.
You know, it's interesting because I've been binging on, I love, like, most of the people who follow us, you know, as a tandem and follow you and follow me individually as fans of the show, they know that I can't stand the current product. I think because I'm such a traditionalist and a purist when it comes to pro wrestling. And I love documentaries. That's why I love documentaries. I'm a sucker for good wrestling documentaries. I love the Dark Side series, stuff like that. I love it. And I was just watching a documentary on gentleman Chris Adams a couple of weeks ago. I do about 3 hours of cardio a week. And that's usually when I binge on like documentaries and pro wrestling stuff, like old school pro wrestling stuff. And it was so good. Like it was such a good documentary on Chris Adams. And I've been binging on season 2 of the biography documentaries, and it had Taker, Angle, Goldberg, the Bella Twins, and I watched all those, and I'm finishing up with Luger's. And it really just shows me, like, I was looking at that as a traditional fan, and I'm looking at the current product, and I'm like, man, there's just such a horrible emphasis on characters. The common theme of what I saw with those biographies is that there was legitimately some really good footage that shows the evolution of someone's character. I mean, that's basically what it was for all of just about all of the biography series. And I see with a lot of AEW fans, especially, and pro wrestling fans in general, but a lot of AEW fans, they mark out because of a person who can give you a good spots and a good match. But the stories doesn't build the character. So it has a very short shelf life because the honeymoon stage fades away. They did that with Punk. When Punk came, people were crying. It was just a big deal. Months later, he was getting booze, because the honeymoon stage was gone. Now he's coming back. They kind of put a reset on the honeymoon stage, and without a good story, guess what's going to happen? It's going to fade away, and people are going to. That's exactly what happened to Liv Morgan, Vince.
Yep.
She was booed out the arena last week. Yep. People had the honeymoon stage. We wanted different. We wanted new. They got different and new, and guess what? A few weeks later, booed out the arena. So why do you think there's an issue there?
Because it's the writers that have to sustain that.
Yeah.
You've got to sustain that, Chris. Exactly. Week to week, month to month, year to year. You've got to sustain that. And if you don't know how to sustain it, you're going to get these examples that happen over and over and over again.
Yeah. And so with this Punk return, and I know that, you don't watch AEW aggressively, but you do understand and you keep tabs of what's going on because of your shows and things like that. So with Punk coming back, it already has the pleasing to the marks. It's CM Punk, it's Jon Moxley, and that's really the build, which I don't understand. What can go different to make it better and have more sustaining power rather than what we've talked about before. Someone loses the title and then they get dumped up, and then someone else's head pop up. They get, gophered basically. How does it switch from that as far as a writing perspective is concerned?
See, bro, if it's me, Punk relinquished the title because he had an injury how many months ago?
Well, he kept the title, and now Moxley's the interim champion, so they
Right.
would do like a title versus title thing. It was like a few months ago he broke his foot. So.
See now, bro, if this is me, what I'm talking about is what is really an issue at AEW right now.
Yeah.
Bro, how many new people have walked in the door since CM Punk got hurt? And that's my angle. Wait a minute, bro. While you were sitting on the shelf for 3 months, it's the old Lou Gehrig story. The Yankees used to have a great first baseman. He got hurt. Lou Gehrig stepped in. You never heard of the guy again. Mm-hmm. It's that same story. No, bro, wait a minute. A lot of people have joined this company in your absence. The landscape has changed.
Yep.
You got to prove your worth all over again. You're not just going to jump to the head of the class. And now, bro, you're throwing the obstacles.
Yes.
The obstacles at Punk. Is he going to be able to get past Adam Cole? Is he going to be able to get past this one and that one and the next one? You've got to create something. And where I always start, Chris, is reality. Okay, let's look at reality. The guy was sitting out for 3 months. How many new people have we brought in his absence? The guy's expecting to just jump to the top of the cliff. And, bro, I tell you what I would do. I would have Tony Khan cut that promo because people are ready to boo Tony Khan out of the building for doing just that.
Yeah.
That's what I would do. Wait a minute, Punk. When I signed you, it was a big deal.
Mm-hmm.
But obviously, bro, injury, your age was an issue. You got hurt. But in the meantime, I've got shiny new toys.
Yes.
That, bro, I'm telling you, when you're in doubt in writing wrestling, you always go to reality and logic.
Yeah.
Reality and logic. And that's what I would do. Now, bro, you got McMahon throwing the obstacles. Okay, you get past this test, you get past that test. That's what you do, bro. But to immediately throw the both of them together, that is 100% lack of writing. 1,000%. Anybody can do that, bro.
Yeah, I agree with that. It's just again, you're just booking based on names that aren't strong enough to really have staying power. You know what I mean? And so Punk, he addressed on Rampage, the June 3rd episode of Rampage, that he was gone for injury. And so he basically, I think he was like a 6-man or 8-man or something like that. And I saw a video right when it happened in June, early June, of him. It happened when he was jumping out to the crowd. And I think he hit his shin or somewhere around there, his foot or something like that, and I think that's when it jacked up. But yeah, he looks like he's good to go. But I agree with you, Vince. I think it's just a matter of creating a story behind it. I think it would be more intriguing to have the real champion and the interim champion, and they don't have to automatically come together as far as, and you have two champions and people are wondering like, when are they going to cross paths? When are they going to cross paths?
That's the way you're supposed to do it, Chris. You build them. Hulk warrior. Oh my God. What's going to happen? There's an art to that, bro. It just doesn't develop.
I agree. Yep. Yes, indeed. What does develop, ladies and gentlemen, is the pythons on this guy right here, and I'm telling you, man, you talk about your 61-year-old flab. I don't see it. So I don't know. I don't know exactly where it is. And I also got
another perfect thing before you move on. I just want to throw out there, like I keep reading a lot of rumblings about Rusev being unhappy with start there. Start there, bro.
Yeah.
Bro, so many. You know what's so frustrating to me, Chris? It's right in front of their face, and that they're so entrenched in the bubble of how you're supposed to do wrestling, they can't see what's right there.